And here we are. It's the High Noon Hemp Show, which means, of course, it's Wednesday at noon Eastern Time. We're live with video on demand, of course, on the Hemptations Beach Facebook page, the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel, and on Twitter at Hemptations. Of course, the audio podcast can be found on Podbean, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. Just search the High Noon Hemp Show, and you will find it. If you want to see us in all of our glory, just listen to us in all of our glory. That option is available as well. I am Joe Claire, aka Stoner Jesus. He is the man himself, beach high above the Hemptations in Sharonville, Ohio, at the hemp quarters, if you will. Beach, how are things in the world of Hemptations?
Things are wonderfully okay, I guess. It's the alarms are going off. It's the first Wednesday of the month, of course. It's
Right.
high noon. We're here for the High Noon Hemp Show. Thank you, everyone. I am high above the Sharonville location, as I am normally for every episode. Um, I would like to say today is, in fact, Charlotte's Day, Charlotte Figgy Day. And so we are doing a flash 10% off in the stores. And I believe it's Charlotte Day is the code. I put it on the Hemptations.com. On the first page of Hemptations.com, we have our events related to the store. I put the online code there if you want to do some online shopping for 10% off today only, um, for that. And so I'll talk more about that in the events too. They have a fundraising concert going on today, so you can go to this fundraising Rock the Rock. It is ROC Realm of Caring is doing this, um, .org, and watch some pretty good concerts. I believe. I'm pretty sure, man. There's some good music going on for that at the very least. Um, Again, if you don't know anything about Charlotte, she was probably one of the most influential aspects to making industrial hemp slash CBD 100% legal in the United States. Her story is uh, quite amazing. Um, you know, not as much because we found out what it worked, because other families found out it worked, but because what the family did with the knowledge that CBD helped Charlotte with her Dravet's syndrome, which causes seizures. Um, she probably, I know she passed away. That's why we're celebrating her life. She was 13, I believe, when she passed away. She was probably five ish, I'm guessing, when everything kind of started going public with them using this high CBD cannabis, and then basically breeding the THC out of, because it was a medical um, marijuana flower originally, but it was, I think, higher in CBD, maybe lower in THC, because they didn't want that, they didn't need that, and then all of a sudden they bred all the THC out, and came up with basically Charlotte's Web, which is the product that's on the shelves. We don't have it right now, but you can find it. It's one of the bigger names out there, of course, in CBD products. And so, anyway, we celebrate her life, um, as again, her name will forever be associated with CBD, in my opinion, without a doubt. So, her memory will live on forever. That's for sure. Um, Wanted to mention again, because super proud and excited about it, the fact that we were voted best green sustainable store in the tri-state area,
Absolutely.
voted by the people. Also voted best smoke shop. Um, it's the best of both worlds, is what it is. Um, I can say for sure the best of both worlds. And, I can say the best of both hemp worlds, because again, we sell the hemp flower and the hemp shatter and the hemp dabs and all the legal hemp hash. We have it all. Um, and all the hemp forms, as far as CBD and some of the other CBG and whatnot. And so, of course, you need the accessories for those things, as well as in Ohio. Um, there are acceptable medical devices, and so you cannot smoke your medicine in Ohio. You have to vaporize your medicine in Ohio, and so we have a lot of the Ohio um, accepted, excuse me, products. So just super, yay! Thanks everybody again. Um, I'll be celebrating for a while. I have decided that we may call 421 Having Temptations Day because we sit right in between 420 and Earth Day, and
There you go.
that's who we are. We're a hemp store that also has a smoke shop, but no tobacco. I want to make that
Yes.
perfectly clear. Not one single product for tobacco or with tobacco, nicotine, or any of that um, in it. And so our products are for CBD flower, CBD shatter, CBD dabs,
There you go.
maybe even Delta 8 shatter, Delta 8 dabs, um, CBG flower, all those things. 100% legal. 100% legal. So thanks again, everybody, for that. Let's get on with the product spotlight. The first one here is a new one to the lineup. We carry other Just CBD products, but these are actually the 1,000 milligram carts. And so, again, with vaporizing, that is one of sublingual and vaporizing are two of the quickest ways to get the CBD running through the cannabinoid system, endocannabinoid receptors, and then the body does what it needs to, um, where it needs to. So there you have it with the new Just CBD 1,000 milligram CBD carts. The next one is spring has really sprung. We've had 2 fires already at the house, and so these are the Kentucky Hemp Works little fire starters. So if you like to have a little fire, get yourself a little bit of hemp fire starters there and get your fire started right. And I will say that the hemp oil that we sell to ingest, which is very healthy for you, is also highly flammable, which is why it doesn't make for a good frying oil.
Mm.
So if you have any old hemp oil laying around that might be older and whatnot, you can put a little bit of that on there. You know, it will help. It's it's true. These next ones again, getting to some outdoor activities, getting outside and enjoying the outside. The hacky sack is is big and strong in the world, and so we have some different forms of hacky sacks in the store, but we've definitely had some great days for hacky sacking. That's for dang sure. Um, and the last one, once again, getting outside, getting in the sun. This is the CBD sunscreen that we have on the shelves, and so again, we've got a spray and then some cream and for the face. So a little bit of different depending on what you need. Um, I recommend sunscreen. The sun is, you know, not good for our skin, really.
Yeah, it's not messing around. That's for sure.
It's not messing around. Long term exposure to the sun is flat out not healthy. Um, and our skin is, as they say, I'm pretty sure they say the largest organ on our body, and taking care of it's important. Um, and so, I definitely recommend sunscreen. That being said, 4 from the store one from my door on the product spotlight. My product for this week is my Uncle Bud's sunscreen. Um, we are going to be picking up the Uncle Bud's line soon. But for now, I will tell you what we love. Mary and I both love the Uncle Bud's products, and so that's why I really want to get them in the stores. But you can go to their website, I know, and find, and they have a full range of um, hemp oil products, and now they have added a line of CBD stuff. When we pick up their products, I'm just going to pick up their hemp oil products because they're just really good stuff. And of course, the CBD is good for the skin. No matter what, and it absorbs and it stays, and rubbing it in everywhere. Obviously, it does not get into the bloodstream. It stays and is used at the point that you put it, like hemp oil in our skin. Um, Hemp oil absorbs into the skin and gives its nutrients to your skin as it does the nutrients when you eat it. And we're talking about high in omega 6, omega 3s, vitamins, minerals, all these things. And so it's not like petrochemical products where it just sits and seals and it really does nothing. Hemp oil absorbs into the skin, and so you get that nutritional value to the skin, and again, highly beneficial, natural. And so that's why hemp oil products are good for the skin. So there you have it on the product spotlight here on the High Noon Hemp Show. 4 from the store, 1 from my door.
Which, of course, brings us to the segment where hemp and fashion combine. I've run out of adjectives to describe this. I've run out of ways to describe just how important this segment is, not only to hemp and fashion, but to the internet as a whole. So we'll just get right to it. I asked Beach a very important question. Some say, myself included, the most important question you'll hear all day. And we get the most important answer. What are you wearing, Beach?
That's right. If you are curious, maybe you're gonna get outside again. Maybe it's really nice where you are. Well, this is what I am wearing from head to toe. I broke out one of my classic favorite hats. Actually, my head case hat. It says "Warning: Do not smoke this cap." Um, and man, when I used to go out wear this back in the day, um, everybody got a big old kick out of that. It was a conversation starter because I used to get asked a lot if you could smoke the clothes. People really wanted to know back in the day if a pair of jeans would get you high or whatnot. And so it was very appropriate back in the day. What people they didn't know was amazing. And so I'm also wearing a classic Hemptown Polo. Really, I have a little bit of these guys. They haven't been around for a while. Last I heard, they had sold out to a Canadian company, and so I need to check on their stuff. Um, you can see my Hempies belt with my Prana shorts, and of course, in my pocket there is my Green Springs Technology pen. I've got my I Love Bad briefs, along with my Good Morning no show socks. Love my no shows in the summertime, and then my good old, really old pair of Nike Sbs, um, which you can see I'm starting to break out the front there, and I swear I have a new pair of those in a box somewhere. But I love, that's those. Those are some of my favorite summer shoes for whatever reason. I just really like them. And out of all the shoes that I have, and I have plenty. So there you have it. If you are curious, what are you wearing, Beach? Now you know from head to toe. Man,
Indeed.
a little something in my throat. All right, we got again, just coming up with all kinds of interesting stuff across the internet for hemp products that are coming out. This first one was there was an article about 5 things that um, this person had discovered that were cool at NoCo. Most of it was kind of CBD, so you don't have to wonder. But the one that I really liked was this 100% baby blanket company. They're called Bundles of Hope, and again, 100% organic baby blankets in many colors. And so it's pretty cool that they're using organic dyes. Apparently, I hope that's what that means. They're supposed to be organic, so we can only hope that they're using, I suppose, organic dyes. I'm not sure what but anyway, um, if you got a baby coming, you know someone that needs a baby blanket. It's Bundles of Hope. I haven't checked out their website yet, but if they have one, which I assume they do, I will put that information on the About page at hemptations.com, which is the second page, which lists most of the stuff, events, and things like that on it that I talk about here on the show. This next pick is, of course, a pick of the new Nike Sbs. This one is, and they usually release a shoe around 420. Some one was dubbed the Cheech and Chong one year. I forget, but they kind of do that. This one's called it's called the Maui Wowie, and has a very Hawaiian theme, which is the same as the last one that I showed. This one's kind of a little bit downed version of the last one, and of course it's got the swoosh is hemp and the tongue is hemp on these, which seems to be the thing that Nike, how they incorporate hemp into their SBs recently, has been more kind of the accessory, the swoosh or the tongue. They did release the one that was full hemp, so I'm not going to complain. I waited in line for that one, and I had people waiting in line with me for that one, and we had no success when they released the full body hemp.
Mm.
Um, I think that was with the partnership that they did with one of the bigger skate company names or something. But anyway, I'm sure they're $1,000 on eBay um, for the people that were successful waiting in line for them. I don't know how that works, but anyway. Um, so here's some more good news moving forward. Hopefully, this is what we've been pushing for a while. But Rand Paul just introduced the Hemp Economic Mobilization Plan, which spells hemp. Good for him. Um, which the biggest thing about this, and I'm going to look more into what this really would do. But the big thing is it would raise the THC limit to 1%. And so that would be the next best logical government move until it just matters what the end product is as to how much THC, in all honesty, is. That would provide a lot of relief, I think, in the industry, and um, I think that it'll probably create a new category. um, it won't be full spectrum because a full spectrum will still probably be that 0.3% or less. It won't be broad spectrum, which means they've extracted the THC out and left the terpenes and CBD, and it won't be isolate, which is basically pure CBD. It'll be some new CBD T broad, which means the THC is higher for those, because the 1% THC now, I think you are kind of dabbling uh, um, into a zone where possibly, again, the math, that's still not a lot, but where that threat of failing a drug test, which is ridiculous to begin with, becomes obviously exponentially higher. And so, right now it takes a lot of 0.3% CBD. I mean, a lot, a lot, a lot. Like the average person could not consume enough CBD with 0.3% THC in it on a daily basis to fail a drug test. Um, does science say that because it has THC in it, is it possible? Yes. but the probability is super, 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 super high or low, whichever way is, it's not going to happen. And so, obviously, if we triple the amount of THC that's allowed in CBD products, then there may be a little bit more concern for those. Obviously, what we need to do is stop testing people for THC, um, and let them use whatever is or isn't safe for the job that they're doing. Again, I'm not saying that someone that drives a truck or whatever should be out there stoned doing it.
Mm.
But most people can probably do their job with THC in their system and not be a hazard or a threat to society. And so, if you don't do your job, you don't do your job, and you get fired. What you have in your system shouldn't matter. That's for sure. It sure shouldn't matter to going into a job. You prove yourself before any of that. Anyway, I'm not here to rant about that today, but thank you, Rand Paul, for introducing the Hemp Economic Mobilization Plan. Um, I push my glasses up and then I can't read. I push my glasses down so I can read because I'm
Uh,
getting old.
yes.
Um,
Are we all?
right, right. Um, Here's a fun hemp product. This hemp car. This is a company called Aptera. They have taken 10,000 pre-orders for this. It's a trike, so it's a three-wheel. So you can see two in the front, one in the back. Supposedly, it doesn't need windshield wipers because it's so aerodynamically designed. And their market's starting here in the USA, from my understanding, but they've already taken 10,000 orders for this vehicle. And then, I love this. Then they told everybody it's made out of hemp. So I don't believe, if I read the article correctly, that when you went in to buy one, you actually knew what it was going to be made out of. But the chief technical officer, Nathan Armstrong, says the controversial plant has powerful fibers that make it resistant yet light body, which is mated to the appropriate resins according or matted, I guess, to the mated to the appropriate resins. I don't think that's what he said. Anyway, obviously, once again, um, hemp composite can make a body. If you don't know, Henry Ford built a car out of, and it was plant based, including hemp, but he took a sledgehammer to it and it didn't dent. Um, the newest one was, um, there have been some companies. I know Elise. I forget how that worked out. They had hemp in their body. There was one that was supposed to be made in Canada, the Kestrel, and it was like a little two-door, um, little hatchback looking vehicle that never came about. I was really excited about that one. That one was never made. Um, this one is getting made because they've already taken the orders for it, which is great. As we know, BMW used hemp composites in their doors to lighten all their electric vehicles by 20%. So now we're talking bodies. I think that once again, it's going to have to be studied as far as true strength. And then once it's proven to be in that range of um, strength to be safe for someone to get in it, then you might see a major car company do it. Until then, we're going to see stuff like this. I think that's going to be more on the smaller scale. Um, but I was really excited about the Kestrel because I think it was going to be inexpensive and affordable, and um, but again, never came about. And again, there are some out there. I showed the picture recently of the one that was going to be at NOCO, which was a custom body put over an existing frame, basically. which was pretty cool. And so the hemp cars are getting made. I would like to just drive one around the block, maybe, just so I can say I've done it. That's one thing I've never done. I haven't driven a hemp car yet,
There you go.
so I need to check that off my list. That would be good. So good for Aptera. So I assume you can find Aptera, Aptera. I assume you can find them online if you're interested in getting one of their trikes, which is obviously going to be legal in Ohio or legal in the United States because they're starting here, and then they're going to market them, I think, maybe to Europe and some other countries, according to what I read. So we'll see. Um, I've talked about how much Patagonia is involved in the hemp world, and I have got my line of Patagonia clothing. But they're, I guess they're doubling down on hemp, I should say, with their new mission, which is to bring hemp home. And so I think that they are going to, and I know that they were contracting with a hemp farmer for fiber for that line of their clothing, shirts, pants, hats, shorts, and so that's great. And so hopefully by moving forward with this bring hemp home idea, they'll be contracting with more fiber growers, and or again, I think if you're growing for grain, I think that's good, still pretty decent fiber because that plant still grows decently tall, which is what you're looking for. The longer the plant, the taller the plant, the longer the fiber, the stronger it is, and all those things. Not saying that you can't take a 5 foot plant and get fiber out of it, um, and that would be the fiber you'd build the car out of using. It is literally a fiber when it comes to fiberglass, fiber, hemp. That's where engineers were thinking, wait a minute, this might just work, and it does. uh, and so, thank you, Patagonia. Um, I'll wear some of your clothing soon on the High Noon Hemp Show. I almost guarantee it. Outside Magazine article on hoodies. Um, there was only 4 that they talked about, but Prana's Cardiff Full Zip Fleece was the best for workouts. And again, the Prana stuff, and I can see this does make sense to me because the Prana clothing is kind of on the thinner, cider, softer side of, and of course it's a blend, and so it's only 55% hemp, but it is 25% recycled polyester and 20% tencel lyocell. And so again, eco-friendly with the 55% and the recycled part. Um, and I may just assume that tencel lyocell, if I look it up, is actually hopefully an eco-friendly synthetic. And so we can only hope there because they do exist, um, so to speak. And so more Prana stuff. You can't always. You can check Prana's website once a month, and they're probably hopefully releasing new hemp stuff. I need to go and see about their spring line of hemp clothing now. Probably. I really like this hoodie too, though. I'd have to get one of those as well. I need a new hoodie, although I've got a closet full of those. Either way. Um, okay, Today Magazine um, article on best tops to wear with leggings. This was more dedicated to the ladies. But they had a company, and I have not seen these hemp t-shirts, but they're called Common Strand, which I thought was pretty cool. Common Strand is the name of the company, and so they make a hemp tee. And of course, a t-shirt goes with leggings, so why not a hemp t-shirt? Makes sense. Um, let's see here. Surfer Magazine had an article, CBD for athletes.
Nope. We have a frozen beach. A little bit of a glitch from his end, since I seem to still be going. So usually restarts. It's usually pretty quick, and he pops right back up. Until then, look at his cap. Of course, you can see it running along the bottom of the screen. Shop online, locations and stuff. If you're in the Cincinnati area, hemptations.com. 3 locations in Cincinnati, 1 location in Dayton. Find directions and all that. Or planeteverywhere.com. Just order online, get it delivered straight to you, whatever you want to do. He's always adding more products on planeteverywhere.com. Also, togiespa.com if you're in Cincinnati. CBD massage treatments and spa treatments, which will be a big thing, I'm certain, going forward. So get in on the ground floor, if you will. Typically, Beach is restarting his internet. Will return to finish the news and events here on the High Noon Hemp Show. Every Wednesday, noon Eastern time. Of course, Hemptations Beach Facebook page, YouTube on the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel, and at Hemptations on Twitter. Many ways to watch, many ways to listen. With the audio podcast as well. Search us out on Podbean and the iHeartRadio app. And you'll have the audio version. But you're missing the video version. The cool scrolls, what Beach is wearing, all the pictures and the products and the graphics. You're missing all that stuff if you're not watching the video version of the show. You're just joining us. We're waiting for Beach to come back. He's had a glitch on his end. When it comes to the internet, which happens, we're about 15 miles apart as we do this show, which is not a lot, but I guess in internet terms, it makes no difference, or little difference, if you will. It could be 15 countries away or 15 inches away. That wouldn't work. He'd be sitting right there. It would work much better because it'll all be on this internet. Anyway,
Ooh, all right.
The return of Beach. There we go.
Longer than expected, but here I am. I am back. Anyway, Surfer Magazine did an article. It's called Athletes, Best CBD Products for Sports Enthusiasts. Basically, as we all know, or learning more and more how much athletes are using them. They're saying, the gummies were best for athletes on the go. And then, of course, everyone's favorites are the topical or the oil. And again, the oil sublingually underneath the tongue gets it running through the entire endocannabinoid system. The topicals, I think, a lot of us have found out are great for, if you're trying to target an area or, you've worked out a particular part of the body. Because again, it does not go into the bloodstream topically. So it is all used in that area that you put it on, with none being wasted. Not that it's wasted sublingually, because again, it goes into the endocannabinoid system, goes into those receptors, and then those receptors decide where you need it, which those receptors are all over the body. And then it sends it out to where the body feels like it needs it. That is the medical science. I'm not giving any medical advice. I'm telling you the medical science of the endocannabinoid receptor system that our brain and our body includes. And so that is a medical fact. One of those cannabinoids, CBD, works really well. And we know THC works really well, and so our brains are meant to take these in and do with them what it really feels like best to do. Obviously THC causes some euphoric side effects. No different than some strong medicines either way, but it's natural as opposed to pharmaceutical. That's not what we're about. We're about CBD and CBG and CBN and Delta 8 and the terpenes, which we're finding the interesting effects that terpenes have therapeutically. And for the layman, A terpene is basically what gives um, flowers or the plant itself its smell and or taste. And terpenes exist in nature, not just the cannabis world, which is nature, of course. But you can. My understanding is obviously um, there are terpenes that are in other plants that are the same terpenes that are in cannabis, um, and so finding out, I think those therapeutic values is beneficial to humanity as well, because it's if we can get them naturally in abundance for the things that we may need them to help us with. Uh, that should be the goal, not made in a laboratory by a scientist who's just broken everything down to a molecular structure and then restructured it with something that's not actually from nature, so to speak. So let's rely on nature a little bit more. This is the last little bit of news that I have. Oh, Spy Magazine. 19 of the best non alcoholic drinks. Best CBD infused was the Marley Mood Teas. So, customers, you may have noticed, but we do have the Marley Mood Teas in the stores now. So, grab one out of the coolers and enjoy. I know they're going pretty. They're doing their best to get national. So hopefully, maybe wherever you are, you can get your local store, convenience store, corner shopper, wherever you like to buy your canned tea from, and try the Marley Mood teas. They do include CBD, just so you know. Um, and they're doing pretty well in the shop. So I actually had a customer request them, and then luckily our local distributor has them, and so there you have it. All right, let's get on to a little bit of events. Get everybody on their way today. Thank you again for watching the High Noon Hemp Show. I am Beach. We are here every Wednesday at all our places. Um, Jedi Hemp Channel, YouTube, Hemptations Beach, all that stuff, Facebook page. We're yes, all that. Um, let's see, we got it again today. Celebrate Charlotte's life. Um, you can go to Rock the Rock, ROCKTHEROC.org, and get your tickets for today's, and I believe it's a fundraising concert event going on for her life, in memory of her and everything that she did for CBD. Tomorrow and the next day, the Kentucky Hemp Association virtual conference. This is again, I've been talking about this one. Well, and look who's going to be there, Rand Paul. I am sure that he will be discussing his new bill for hemp. And so, again, there's $25 tickets at Eventbrite. If you're a member of the Kentucky Hemp Association, it is free. They're going to be doing all stuff all day long on both days, I am sure, with individuals that you want to learn from, whether you want to grow in Kentucky or not, even. It's not just I think that, again, by including who they're including, which is also Ryan Quarles, the chief of the USDA Domestic Hemp Production Program, um, based on the national standards and what we're looking for. And so uh, that's the Kentucky Hemp Association virtual conference. I'm sure you can find more information for that online. And again, tickets are through Eventbrite, EVENBRITE.com. Get your tickets there. Saturday, also in Kentucky, in Crestwood, Kentucky, we have Beefomania with the Hemp Cattle Company. Okay.
Wow.
I am a little interested honestly, in this one, it's because again, I'm gonna have to do some more research. I just found this morning um, on the Hemp Cattle Company, and again, this is in Crestwood. It's a Third Turn Oldham Gardens, if you know about that, in Crestwood, Kentucky. This is Saturday. It's called Beefomania with the Hemp Cattle Company. So I'm gonna do a little bit of research on them and look into, according to what it said, they raise hemp and grass-fed cattle, and so I'd like to taste. I don't eat a whole lot of meat, but um, when I do, I sure like it to be grass-fed and free and all that stuff. That's for sure. It's actually usually bison instead of cow, but I sure would like to try some hemp-fed cattle. A little hemp-fed steak, maybe. Anyway, so if you're in Crestwood, around the Crestwood, Kentucky area, that's going on Saturday, Beefomania. April 17th and 18th, you have the Pennsylvania Cannabis Festival at Reniger's Antique and Farmers Market in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. April 24th, this one just got added. This is in Lima, Ohio. Lima's Hemp and Cannabis Seminar at the Elks Lodge, 302 West North Street. Um, and then back in Kentucky for a live action, so live action event. You have the Kentucky 24th. You have the Kentucky CBD Hemp Show at the Capitol Plaza in Frankfort. And so, of course, check to make sure that these events are going on. I think that less and less stuff is getting canceled and more stuff is getting planned out there. Even though I think we're preemptive on it, I don't think enough people have been vaccinating. And a lot of people think that they can just get rid of their masks all of a sudden. But anyway, check to make sure that the live action events that I may include are actually going on. Let's see. That brings us basically to May 19th and 20th with the Ohio and Kentucky Cannabis and Hemp Expo right here in Cincinnati, Ohio. So come to Cincinnati for that and check out any one of or all of the Hemptations locations. They're all unique and different, and they all have the same stuff and a little bit of different, just depending on how long they've been around.
Mhm.
I always say go to O'Brienville if you're looking for the classic stuff, because there may be some really old classic stuff in that store. You know, um, Sharonville, just because there's a lot of room to wander, so we've kind of put more stuff in there,
Mm.
I suppose. So they're all worth it, but they all have the largest selection of hemp on the planet, no matter which one you go to. I'm sure of that. And so, thanks everybody for watching. Oh, I'm not done yet. I don't even know why. I did. I do have the Ask Beach segment here on the High Noon Hemp Show,
Mhm.
which is also slash beach thoughts. If you have any questions for me, please ask them at hemptations@yahoo.com, and I'll try to answer them as quick as I can, and then go ahead and address it on the show if it's appropriate. Um, Basically, I saw a question: CBD, marijuana, and hemp. What is the difference among these cannabis products and which are legal? Well, CBD and hemp are basically the same thing. Both are 100% legal as long as they have that 0.3% or less THC. Marijuana is a slang term for cannabis, um, which has kind of become the government word for cannabis that has more than 0.3% THC, more or less. And so that is legal in certain states, but not legal federally. Still a part of cannabis with 0.4% or more THC by federal law, more or less, is on the controlled substance list. And so marijuana, it's all cannabis. Well, let's clarify that too. It's all cannabis, whether it's cannabis indica, cannabis sativa, um, or cannabis ruderalis, which is a very new strain that no one uses because it's not tall and it doesn't get you high, so to speak. And I don't think it works as a medicine. We may find benefits to it. I think the one thing about that particular subspecies of cannabis is that it matures in a certain amount of time, whereas most cannabis matures on the light cycle. Okay, it is a sun-driven maturation, so to speak, and so it knows it follows the sun when to bring its leaves out, when to it follows the sun when it flowers, and it follows the sun when it's done flowering, so to speak. And so when grown outdoors, then you're obviously beholden to the sun as to when your crop matures all the way, depending on what you're growing it for. But that is why indoor is quite popular, because they can actually speed up. They fool the plant. They speed up the process. And so it's an interesting game that plays. And so basically, once again, all cannabis, if it's referred to as marijuana, then chances are they're referring to what's under the Controlled Substance Act in the federal law, but is legal in certain states, both publicly and through a medical system, so to speak. So there you have it. That's the question that I saw, and so now I'm done. Now I'm done. Thanks everybody for watching the High Noon Hemp Show. We will see you next week. As a teaser, 421 may be our first guest on the show, and someone famous.
There you go.
Both a first and a famous.
It's a teaser in the biz. What do we call it in the biz?
The F and F. It's going to be an F and F good show. Famous and first.
There we go.
So stay tuned for the F and F show. We're also called, what do I call that? Having Hemptations Day, 421, because it falls right between 420 and Earth Day, our two favorite days of the year. So thanks again, everybody. And remember, reduce, reuse, recycle, make everything else out of hemp. Having Hemptations.
See you all next week.